All right. Good evening, class. Welcome to tonight's session on this our introduction. Within the introduction to ITSM. This night we are going to continue where we are looking at the value system in ITIL. That's where we stopped. That's where we are going to start. We stopped at the importance of ITSM to organization. But like we know that ITSM is rooted so much in ITIL framework. So let's continue to understand this ITIL framework. Understanding the service value system in ITIL and other things. And then after they have any question, we can talk about any question you have. Okay. I think you can see my screen now. Can you?
Yes, sir. I can see your screen, sir.
Okay, good. So tonight, like I said, we are going to look at the ITIL service value system. We want to understand what service value system means in ITIL. The SVS is a holistic approach to service management. It represents how all components and activities work together to enable value creation. I think it's such a very powerful framework that it creates a lot of value. And with all these components weaved together, it must create a very good value. And that is what ITIL is talking about. We have these key components that create value under ITIL. I think one of us is not on mute and the background is showing. It's coming out in our background. So the component that create value in ITIL is number one, service value chain. Then we have guiding principles. We have governance, we have practices, and we have continuous improvement. The service value chain, this is the core operational model within the service value system representing activities required to respond to demand and facilitate value creation. It's a chain, kind of a chain of activities weaved together that comes out to bring value to the organization through ITIL. So once we start looking at how this works, you find out there is a lot of activities chained together within the ITIL or ITSM life cycle is an activity, is a chain. And all these chain linked together must represent a good value. That is what ITIL is emphasizing on. Unlike if you are talking about agile, you find out agile is mainly talking about understanding customers and satisfying customers. You have to be flexible within the agile, how you respond to customers' demand. But in ITIL is more interested in how a chain of activities can bring sustainable value. Then to achieve that, we have guiding principles, core recommendation that guides decision and action within the service value system. And within the guiding principles, there's governance. Governance ensures alignment with organizational strategies and policies. And then put it into practices. We have set of set of organizational resources designed to perform work and accomplish objectives. And finally, we must have to continue to improve on the system. That's continuous improvement. It's a dedicated effort to constantly improve services and processes. This is like a pillar where this ITIL is built on. So these are the theoretical aspects of it. We need to, have at the back of our mind, even if we don't understand anything from this, we need to understand that ITIL focuses on value creation. Anything outside value, improvement, efficiency, that is only the thing ITIL is preaching on, and that's what we just need to understand. So there's nothing more about it, just to understand there is value. Anything we are doing and we are not providing value under ITIL, then we know we are not working within the ITIL framework. Let's look at the guiding principles. Under the guiding principles, we have these 7 guiding principles. Focus on value, like we already seen that everything is all about value, value, value. Focus on value. Every decision and process should ultimately contribute to customer or business value. Start where you are. Evaluate the current resources and capability before implementing new changes. So it means that you need to understand your current state. What are you doing at the moment? What do you have? Try to maximize the use of what you have before acquiring more resources. That is resource utilization. At times, companies keep on procuring new equipment, new innovation. There are so many of them who have that we have not even started using. According to ITIL, we don't want that kind of waste. That is why evaluate your current resources before new acquisition. The number 3 guiding principle is progress iteratively with feedback. This is where it has some kind of agile nature. What we'll talk about iteratively with feedback, that is what we do in agile. if we have been in our class in project management, we'll talk about Agile and Scrum. We borrowed Scrum into this ITIL, that is progress iteratively with feedback. Implement changes in small and manageable steps while continuously gathering feedback. That is Agile, 100% Agile at this point. So you can see that ITIL is weaved with other framework. They pick the best from every framework. Collaborate and promote visibility. Effective collaboration across departments promotes a unified approach to service management. You cannot say you are providing service to all departments in isolation. You are just there on your own as a service IT service manager. You lock yourself in your office, provide capturing incidents and responding. No, you need to regularly have meetings with different service users. All these departments, they are service users. So we have to continuously collaborate with them to understand the services very well, understand their challenges very well, and see how we can collaborate to deliver this value to them. So it must be a collaborative effort. During my, when I was working as a service, IT service manager, we have regular meeting. Every week we must have at least one meeting with all the departments. We have with marketing, we have with HR, we have with finance. Constantly, we don't wait till there is an incident, a threatening incident. We constantly monitor their operation and see how we can improve their services. So it's a statutory meeting for us to constantly collaborate, have a meeting. Is very, very important. So number 5 is think and work holistically. IT services should be approached as interdependent parts of a large ecosystem. Yeah, IT system, we are providing it, but we are integrated with, so we have our own unit, but everything is integrated. That's why I have IT service unit. Is a unit, but is well integrated within the organizational ecosystem. So that is what we are saying at this point. And number 6 is keep it simple and practical. Avoid complexity. As a matter of fact, everything we do in ITSM, we map them out. We are coming to that where we have to start using this ITIL. All the processes, how we resolve every incident, it must be very simple. And we must have a flow chart, a process flow on how to handle every problem. Everything must, we don't believe in ambiguity. We don't believe in so much grammar. We believe in simple diagram. Everything must be, have a diagram on how to follow processes. Because everything in ITIL is about processes. We must understand every processes very well in a very clear terms. We must have what we call service catalog. We are coming to all these things. This is where we have to start getting busy. Service catalog. We must identify all our services. Everything must be simple and practical. We don't believe in theory, so much theory. No. So it's simple, practical. That's the guiding principle, because responding to incidents, critical incidents. We don't need so much grammar. For instance, let me continue to use service IT outage. Most these days, all the activities, even in banks, let's say bank, every business relies on internet these days. And when there is an internet outage, you don't need so much grammar. You don't need to call board meeting. You don't need to. It's action. So you don't need this big. Everything must be practical and very simple. If you keep things very simple, it's going to be easier for you to achieve a practice. But when things are very complex, you might not even know where to start. So that's why you try housekeeping all the time. Everything must be tidied at all time. And number 7, optimize and automate. In IT system, we must continuous optimization. Continuous optimization, we must continue to refine our system. Is a continuous process. As we continue to refine, the more we continue to refine, the more we get better. You know, that is what we should be doing. And that is one thing why a lot of things are not working back home in Nigeria, because we do not optimize our systems. I remember I graduated in 2004 from university, and I met someone who studied from my department recently, and I was trying to understand their curriculum. And I find out that those things they used to teach us, the curriculum we used like 20 years ago, is what they are still using at this point. No improvement. So what is then optimization in their system? They don't look at their services. They don't want to understand what the service they render to the public. So that is what we should be. That is why this is very important to organizations, because it helps them to not only IT, everything organization. That's why organizations are looking for people who are very good in ITIL, because ITIL framework is very good. Even business analysts these days, they are requiring you to have ITILs. They have, although it's very rare to see the certification, but you must have at least good knowledge of ITIL these days, because it's one thing organization need more than everything. That's why we apply it in IT to streamline IT. IT environment is a complex environment, and if we don't have a framework that's capable of streamlining activities within the IT, is going to be difficult. That's why ITIL is trendy and very, very handy these days. So as you're optimizing, you are automating. A lot of activities within the IT need to be automated. More especially repetitive activities. That is how you bring efficiency, and that is how you reduce waste. When activities, more especially, let me use finance department, where we do financial record figures, activities there should be highly automated to reduce error, fraud, and other things. And once you automate activities, you reduce waste of time within the supply chain. So the final is you must continue to optimize, continuous optimization, like continuous improvement. And when there is continuous improvement, you must continue to apply automation. And while automation is taking place, the system is getting streamline, efficient, and eliminating waste within the whole supply chain. So that's the guiding principle within the ITIL. Okay, let's then understand the ITIL four-dimensional or 4 dimension of IT or service management. To achieve balanced approach, IT recognizes 4 critical dimensions that affect service delivery and success. And this dimension, 4 dimensions, we have organization and people, we have information and technology, we have partners and suppliers, and we have value stream and process. So this is the 4 dimension that I still want to approach service, not only IT, because ITIL is beyond just IT. I don't want us to have a narrow mind that ITIL is only used for IT service management. It's not only for IT service, it's for any kind of service management. So if you understand ITIL very well, it's not only for IT services. You can use it in oil and gas. You can use it in manufacturing. You can even use it in hospital management. You can use it in hotel management. Anywhere there is business, there is services, value creation, service delivery, you can use it. That is why we are using it equally in IT service. So it's not only within the IT services, it's service delivery. So this is what we have under organization and people. Number 1, address the structure, rules, and culture of the organization and its employee. We try to understand the organizational structure, hierarchy, rules, and company culture. Companies have different culture. You must have to understand the company culture, organizational culture. You can't apply what is going on in Google to Facebook or Microsoft. They have different work culture. So you must have to address this culture, understand rules within this culture, organizational culture. A strong organizational structure and skilled workforce are essential for effective service management. So when there is good structure and good skilled workers, that's what there must be good structure and good skilled work in order to achieve. So we must look for quality workforce, experienced workforce that understand organizational structure, organizational goal, organizational objective, and their vision. Once we understand what the organization wants, we should be able to, know the kind of technology we are going to look for the organization. Because you, as a service manager, when you study organization, you should know the kind of IT infrastructure you can design for them. Because as IT service manager, you design IT infrastructure as well. You should be able to understand what suits every organization. As I am now, once I say an organization, for instance, let me use primary school or nursery school. It's not the kind of IT infrastructure I'm going to design for them that I'm going to design for university system, although all of them are within the educational system. If I'm designing LMS, learning management system, as an IT to power that institution, you can't use what you are designing for primary school for nursery school. Likewise, financial institutions. If I'm designing IT infrastructure for a commercial bank and for community bank, there must be the variation, because there are some areas they are not going to work together. So that is what it means. You must understand the organizational structure very well before you start with you go down to information and technology. So under information and technology, concern the information and technology necessary to manage services, as well as the technologies required to deliver them. I've just covered that. So you need to understand organizational structure very well before you can start thinking of the kind of this thing you are bringing for them. When I was a local government chairman, I came and I understand that the system, the structure in the system is very porous. Every month they will bring a very high wage bill, and we look around, we don't see any. All the time, local government is like a ghost town. Nothing is happening, and a lot of money is going out to pay wages. You have to understand that structure very well. Looking at that, I already pictured in mind the kind of the first solution I'm bringing in. First of its kind, I introduce biometric attendance. Within the first month of biometric attendance, we saved 30 million naira from the local government. Because half of the people, they are ghost workers. So you have to understand the structure, their problems very well before you can start deploying solution. There's nothing IT cannot do. And that particular thing I did, so many other local governments within the state and across started copying it. Up till now, they are still using it, saving them huge amount of money. So that is how you can understand a system and design a simple solution. So these are things we do as an IT service manager. Okay. Like I said, capture data management, IT infrastructure and application and security. So it's all about understanding organization and designing the right solution for them. Then partners and suppliers encompasses relationship with third parties that provide services or resources such as vendors, suppliers, and other partners. Effective partnership ensure that external resources align with organizational objectives. Most of the solutions we are using, we don't need to develop them in-house. We look for partners. Everybody have their strengths. No company can develop all the solutions they are using themselves. All you need is look for reputable partners or vendors or suppliers and use their services. And they will, so in some cases, we outsource some of this to them for them to manage. These are all these big names we are here, big consulting firms we are hearing. They are most of the ITSM is being outsourced to them. People like KPMG, Accenture, Pricewater, PwC, all these people, these are some of their partners managing companies' IT infrastructures. So, because it's a very complex, they needed, like when we talk about skilled workforce, so many companies might be to get skilled workforce, we know that is very costly. So in some cases, it's better you outsource them out to these suppliers because they have quality skilled force and they have the experience. They must have handled so many, such of their problems, giving them leverage to handle any kind of complex problem. But if you are trying to do everything in-house, trying to solve all your problem in-house, it might be difficult because you might not have enough resources to do that, or it might cost you more. So that's why we need to partner, and as we're partnering, we will look for credible partners. Number 4 is value stream and processes. Describe how value creating services and processes are organized and managed within the service life cycle. Every services, every processes, you must decide how they are bringing value. You must, like what we do, every services, we model them. We show how every value, what is they are bringing. And we'll continue to, if you've done, for those, I don't know, some of you in business analysis, when you capture, during the process map, we map out all the processes we use. It's the same thing in ITSM. You map a lot of processes. And every process, you see how this process is bringing value to the system. Even if you want to troubleshoot a system that, for instance, your computer is not coming up, the process on how to handle such incidents must be mapped out. And you continue to optimize that process. Every process you use must be mapped out. And as you map them out, we continue to refine them, purify them, continue to remove waste within the processes. So that is what we call a value stream. We call it value stream map. It's one of the things we're going to value stream map. Every value, every system you use, every process you use, you must create a value stream in every process. You have a lot of processes within the ITSM, more especially when we're talking about incident management. So every incident will have different incidents, like the service outage, system is not coming up, stolen laptop, broken laptop, the telephone is not working, all these things are not working, email, everything. I can't log into my account. All these issues, all these incidents, you must model how to solve all these problems using what we call value stream map. So with that, you see that everything is very clear. How you achieve or how you solve every problem is very clear. So this 4 dimension is what ITIL is preaching. If we apply this 4-dimensional service management, we should be able to create a seamless value within the organization. So that's everything we are going. By the time all these 4 processes, we break them down when we want to put it in practice, you see that there's a lot we've done within this 4-dimensional elements for service management. Okay, this is the ITIL practices in service life cycle. So within a life cycle, service life cycle, if you have been in my project management class, you remember we've done project life cycle. Project life cycle. If you remember project life cycle, you remember initiate stage, how we start from. If you want to manage a project, you have to start from initiate. From initiate, you have planning. After planning, you have execute, you have monitoring and control, and you have closure. But this is not a project life cycle. This is service life cycle. A project is something that has an end. It starts at some date and ends at a certain date. But service is like service. I don't think service has an end. It's a continuous input, you keep on providing these services. If you are meant to service to manage application as a service, as application analyst, we call it application support analyst. These are one of the roles you are going to be when you finish this bootcamp, called application support analyst. Any application you are supporting, you find out that there is no end of that, unlike a project that has an end. It's a continuous process. The only time the life cycle is when that application, there's what we call end to life. You know, that is when the application is no longer needed in the organization. Maybe they are migrating to another application. You know, that's when that application comes to the end of life. But as long as that application is alive, it's a continuous improvement, continuous management. So in ITSM, we have what we call service life cycle under ITIL. So let's look at the various cycle. Here we have service strategy. We have service design. We have service transition. We have service operation, and we have continuous service improvement. This is life cycle. So under service strategy, it involves creating a strategic approach to IT services to ensure they align with business goals. Example, portfolio management, financial management, and so many other management. So you must have to, this is where we decide, understand, where we try to understand the organization. As you remember how we're coming down to this, all the values we are stating before we arrive here. Within, if you are trying to create or package an ITSM unit for your organization, this is where you start. You start by trying to understand the organization, applying service strategy. You need to understand them to know the approach you are going to apply. That is where the service strategy. In project management, I'll use this to make sure that you are very comfortable. In project management, during the initiate stage is when we are trying to understand the problem we are trying to solve for the organization. We call it kind of problem statement. Understand problem statement. You do a lot of requirement gathering to understand before the project. Even that's what we call it. So under service life cycle or service management, the first thing is service strategy. That's when we understand what needs to be done. And when we understand the organizational structure, then we design IT service that will suit them. And that is where the service design starts. And if you remember in project management, for those who are in my class in project management, after initiate stage, we have what we call define stage or planning stage. You can call it define, we can call it planning stage. You can equally call it solution design. In the second phase, after the initiation in project management, that's when you start designing the solution. The business analyst start designing the solution to solve the problem discovered during the initiate stage. So here in service life cycle, at this stage 2, you design the solution. Focus on designing service that meets customers' requirements, factoring in resources, cost, and quality. So example, service level management, capacity management. This is where you start designing whichever service approach you want to use. After designing, we call the next thing is service transition. Manage the implementation and delivery of services, ensuring minimal disruption, such as change enablement and release management. So that is what service transition. If you are following project management, after solution design, the next thing is going to be execution. That is what it seems here. So this service transition, implementing the service you've just designed. And after implementing the service you've just designed under service transition, the next is service operation. You must, during the service transition, you develop and deploy, and then you have to start using it at service operation. Ensure that services are delivered reliably and meet agreed service levels. Incident management, problem management. So this is when you start using the service you've just implemented to solve incidents, to solve problems, IT service incidents, IT service problem. So that is it. And then under number 5, continuous service improvement. It focuses on assessing and improving the service life cycle to increase efficiency and value. That's continuous improvement. So you see the sequence here. That is what we are going to be doing. As an IT service manager, you'll be able to, by the time we finish, you should be able to start from service strategy to service design to service transition, you should be able to deploy a service following this ITIL practice, following these 5 components we captured here under this life cycle, these stages. These are stages. And Finally, we're going to look into the different framework you can use. So, different framework you can use in ITSM. Okay, we've already seen how this ITIL work. This is ITIL, Information Technology Infrastructure Library. That is the full meaning of ITIL. And that is what we've been discussing since we start this bootcamp, trying to understand how it works. And by now, we have seen how it works by this, seeing how we can use this life cycle to package a service, IT service for any kind of organization. So under ITIL, ITIL is the most widely adopted ITSM framework that offers the best practice for aligning IT service with business need. It provides a comprehensive approach to manage the entire IT service life cycle from every strategy, from service strategy, service design, service transition, service operation to continuous improvement. Just what we captured above. And the focus area is incident management, problem management, change management, service request management, and service level management. That is where this ITIL focuses. And you can equally see the life cycle. Then we're not going to waste much time. We already captured everything. We already established a good background. I have a good background now on this ITIL. So let's briefly capture. We are going to be in this boot camp. We are going to be focusing on ITIL. But why I'm taking us through is so that you say that I did not say we have other framework we can use in ITSM. We have other framework we can use in ITSM, just like in project management. We have other project management methodologies we can use. But here we are going to only focus on ITIL because you can see is the most widely adopted. And the time frame we have, our scope will not permit us to capture full details of other or how you can use other framework like COBIT. So we just talk about it briefly. So if you are more interested or if you want to know more, then you can go and read them up. We're just going to introduce them to you. Okay, COBIT, Control Objective for Information and Related Technologies. Developed by ISACA, COBIT is a framework focused on governance and management of enterprise IT. It helps organizations create value through IT while balancing risk and resource use. The focus area is IT governance, risk management, audit and control process, and ensuring IT compliance with regulations and policies is very clear. Then ISO IEC 20,000. This is an international standard for ITSM that outlines the requirement for establishing, implementing, maintaining, and improving an IT service management. It's based on IT framework, but offer a more formalized and auditable standard. The focus area is service delivery, incident resolution, relationship management, and service level management. So this is just kind of a narrow aspect of ITIL, but ITIL is more robust than this. Then DevOps. DevOps is a combination, if you don't, is a combination of development and operations, where you merge development environment and operational environment together. So where the developers work together with operators or operations. It's a methodology that combines software development, dev, and IT operations to shorten the development lifecycle and ensure continuous delivery and continuous delivery and high quality. So a lot of organizations today, they are adopting DevOps, you know. So why they are adopting DevOps? Because most of the time, what we use in our basic project management, like Agile, is that once the developers finish or once the project ends, everybody hands-on. But once we integrate with operations, we find out that as we are developing, we are rolling it out through the operation, we are managing the operation, so everything is continuous, keep on monitoring, because application is like a human being. As long as you are using it, it needs maintenance. So it means that once we are running any application, developers or the development environment, they are not going to say, oh, we have finished our project. It's still going to be part of us. They are part of the operation. The operation is part of the dev. So it's their duty to develop and continue monitoring and maintenance. That's what DevOps here. So although not strictly an ITSM framework, DevOps promotes collaboration, automation, and monitoring throughout the service lifecycle. It focuses on continuous integration, continuous delivery, and CI CD, that is continuous integration and continuous delivery, automation, monitoring, cross-team collaboration. So we can equally use DevOps. As you can see, that it's not strictly, but it can be used, seeing how it aligns together, aligning development environment with operational environment. And this is where these services are being run. Then we have Lean IT. Lean is mainly for waste reduction. Lean IT applies lean manufacturing principle to ITSM, focusing on maximizing value to customers by reducing waste and improving efficiency. Like I say, waste reduction. Lean is very powerful. It's a very powerful framework. So if understand Lean very well, organization, they're always looking at applying Lean in what they are doing. So people who have good knowledge of Lean are very well sought after. So the way this happens is that if you want to have good knowledge of this Lean normally goes together with Six Sigma. I'll call it Lean Six Sigma. Lean Six Sigma is that waste reduction. Lean focuses on waste reduction. So many high-powered organizations are doing these days in their project management and even running their organization. Lean focuses on waste reduction, and Six Sigma focuses on continuous improvement. So you are reducing waste and you are continuously improving on the system. So it's often used in conjunction with other frameworks like ITIL and DevOps. The focus area is process optimization, waste reduction, and waste reduction, value stream mapping, and continuous improvement. So, like I said, it's mainly on waste reduction. Any kind of waste. When we talk about waste, we're not here, we are not talking about industrial waste. We're talking about other waste like waste of time. When employees spend a week trying to work on a process, and when you get that process automated, within 1 hour, it's done. You see, this is lean in action. You've saved a lot of time, money for the organization by automating repetitive activities. So this is what lean is preaching. You bring lean into your IT services. It helps to refine their process. Then we have Six Sigma. Six Sigma is the data-driven methodology for eliminating defects and improving quality in business process. It's often applied in ITSM to enhance service reliability and efficiency through statistical analysis and process optimization. It focuses on quality management, defect reduction, process improvement, and customer satisfaction. So, and like I said, this Six Sigma is mainly on continuous improvement. Then we'll have Agile. We know all of us, or well, I won't say all of us, but Agile is very popular project management framework. So Agile is a project management and production development methodology focused on iterative process, flexibility, and customer collaboration. Agile principles are widely used in ITSM, especially for adaptive and responsive service delivery. It focuses on rapid response to change, collaboration, iterative development, and customer-centric service delivery. Everything about Agile is they have focus to your customer. How do you make customers happy? Customers in the IT, anybody who is using IT services, whether employees, they are all customers, service users. All of them are called customers. So when we are saying customer, I know we're talking about who uses service. Then we have MOF, Microsoft Operations Framework. MOF provides guidelines and best practice on managing IT services and infrastructure. Developed by Microsoft, it covers the full IT service lifecycle and is aligned with ITIL, but more focused on Microsoft environment. Microsoft always want to develop something so you can, while dealing with so many of their own, because most of the IT services being used in the industry are developed or owned by Microsoft. So they always want to develop one framework that professionals will work around within their own, kind of customizing their environment. That's it. Is IT service planning, delivering, operating, and optimizing specifically within the Microsoft ecosystem. Then number 9, CMMI VC, capital maturity model integration for service. This is a process improved model tailored to service organization, focusing on enhancing process maturity and effectiveness. It provides guidelines for improving service quality, efficiency, and productivity. It focuses on service delivery, capacity and availability management, and performance improvement. So, see, you have so many of them here. And the last here is TOGAF, the Open Group Architecture Framework. This Open Group Architecture Framework is a framework for enterprise architecture that supports ITSM by aligning IT strategies with business objectives. It helps organizations create a structured approach for designing and implementing IT services in line with business need. It focuses on enterprise architecture, strategic planning, IT alignment, and integration with business goals. So these are various, we have 10 methodologies. You can call it methodologies, you can call it approach, you can call it framework. Whichever one you call them, you are right. So they will have 10 of them we've listed you can use to implement service delivery in an organization. So that is ITSM. You can use all these frameworks, but the most popular is ITIL, and that is the one we are focusing on. We've already said identify the life cycle you can use within the ITIL. So this is the life cycle we are going to be using to start designing organizational service management. So that is it for tonight. If you have any question, you can ask your question, and that's it. Tomorrow we are going to look at tomorrow don't have class tomorrow. So, but next time we are going to look at tools, ITSM tools. We'll be looking at frameworks. We'll be looking at value system. We'll be looking at best practice, governing, but it's time to look at various tools. We've captured enough of the frameworks, methodology, rules, regulation, governance. So it's time to look at the tools, but we are not going to do it tonight. It's going to be the topic for the next time. So you can see we are progressing, and if you have question, yeah, I'm here for a question. And who is the first person to raise hand? Or for Alex.
Yeah, good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Yeah, I appreciate the class and the information I received this evening. The area I want to ask is on the framework, the ITSM framework. You mentioned about 10 of them.
Yes.
So I'm looking at which one is the best to use, like the one that is widely used, so that because from the explanation is like the ITIL is the one we'll be using. Is that one the best?
That is why we are using it, because I'm not saying it's the best, but when they say it's the most, every authorities as of today, consultants, they say that ITIL is the best. And me, in my organization, when I work in the capacity of an IT service manager, everything I did was under ITIL. That is what my organization adopted. and the organization is a very big company here in the UK. So many organizations, this is what they are using. In short, I like they said here, if you study, I said, is the industrial the most recognized. So, but if you, after going through everything and you feel that it does not suit your own organization, then you can look at other this. That's why I exposed us to so many of them. So it's left for you to choose. But for me, ITIL is the best based on what information are valuable.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. So the second question, sir, sorry. There was a time I was going through some job boards, so I come across like a vacancy in ITSM. So what they put there is that you must have a license ISO. They mentioned is it 2000 or something before you will be allowed to even go ahead with interview and all of that. So I want to ask, based on your experience, sir, is it a general requirement for IT service management?
The answer is no. It's not a general. There's no such general requirement. So the short, what most organizations they are going to ask you is you have good knowledge of ITIL. If you look out, most things they are going to be the keywords in every of the job is ITIL. They will have knowledge of ITIL. That is it. If you have good knowledge of ITIL, then they will want to understand if you have good knowledge of some of the tools they are using, like ServiceNow, and so many of them there we are going to look at. But the main thing is to understand the framework. There's no special license. Maybe they are just unique. Want something. At times, company will put a clause they will want to use to streamline their recruitment process.
Okay, all right. Thank you, sir. That will be all from my side.
All right. Yeah, Mr. Charles Okoye.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for the class. It's very insightful.
Yeah.
My first observation is that I don't know whether yesterday class has been uploaded to the portal, because I checked, I was still having the same problem of access denial.
I looked and you are enrolled, so I don't know why you are having access denied, but I will enroll you to see if that's it's just going to be a kind of simple glitch. I don't think you have any issue, but I've already enrolled you.
Okay, sir. So, but the last class has not been uploaded because we want to look at it.
Yes, I had a lot.
Okay, sir.
I had a lot on my table. I was working with it to upload it when, because I was outdoor, my laptop just shut down. So I'm just coming now to plug it in. But it will be uploaded. I'm on it already. So.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Then the second thing I want to do is that these value stream maps that you made mention of, that is going to be used for process flow, for the service process flow. I want to know whether can we still use maybe Visio
Draw.io
or Draw.io to do it?
Yeah, you can use it, but in most cases, if you know how to do it, it's very good. But it's not enough that it's not a must that IT service manager must know how to. It means that you are going to be needing the service of a business analyst that will be doing all this for you. But if some company don't have it, you find out that this is something you need to streamline your processes,
Okay.
And that is how I happened to dabble into this. I worked as a business analyst to streamline their activities, and from there, I helped to implement the solution. And after implementing the solution, I took over.
Okay, so but from what you are saying, companies has their own process flow that is generic to them.
No, there's no process. Yes, it's how all these processes are processed on how you resolve incidents. It must be mapped out.
Okay, okay.
You know, like now, if you want to a stolen laptop, how do you resolve the issue of a stolen laptop in your organization? You must map it out. The laptop crashed. You know, stolen laptop is different from a crashed laptop.
I know.
Service outage, internet this. How do you all this somebody is leaving the company? How do you handle situation that somebody is leaving the company, making sure that the person returned the equipment, making sure that the person left the company and do not still have access to company infrastructure or information or data? So, you know, these are a lot of, or somebody is joining the company. How do you provision for the person joining the company? Package work kit for the person, make sure you onboard the person, give the person all the necessary access. This is what you are doing as well. So all these processes, you need to model them and keep on refining them to make sure that they are refined.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. So Julie Ochoa.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
I just wanted to add that I'm also having the access denied in the portal. So I think it's like for everybody.
Okay.
So,
I will troubleshoot everything again.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, don't worry. I will troubleshoot everything, and then I will re-enroll everybody. But like when I was checking, everybody, it was only because Charles and Julia, it was only for Alex that I enrolled today. Every other person have already been enrolled, but you should try to see if you can access. Although there is no material I've not uploaded, I'm just trying to start uploading today. But I don't think you should have any problem logging into your environment, because yeah. Okay. Just give me tomorrow I will upload all the materials and then make sure that all the glitches we sort them out. Yeah. All right. Thank you for your participation, and I will see you very soon.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Good night.
Yeah.
Good night.
Good night.